Megan, I wanted to bring something up regarding our household arrangement. Starting this month, we'll need you to contribute $2,000 to the family finances.
$2,000 every month? Kaylee, that's a lot. Where is this coming from?
It's not unreasonable. We're living together under one roof. It's only fair that everyone contributes to the household.
That's not what we agreed on. You and Alex specifically said I didn't have to pay for anything. It was your idea to have me move in to help with the family.
Yes, for living expenses. That's still covered. But this is about something else entirely. This is for Kyle's education.
His education? I thought that was already budgeted. What could possibly cost $2,000 a month?
You don't seem to understand what a proper private middle school entrance exam requires. It's not just a few textbooks and flashcards. There are prep courses, private tutors, mock exams, summer intensives. It adds up.
Even so, I've never heard of spending that much every month on tutoring. My friend's grandson is studying for entrance exams too, and his parents pay about $200 or $300 a month for his tutoring program.
Less than $300 for private tutoring? That's laughable! No wonder their kid will never get into a good school. That kind of low-tier program might work for families who've already given up on success.
That's uncalled for. My friend's grandson is a smart, kind boy, and he's doing well. That kind of comment is cruel to both him and his family.
I'm just being honest. Stupid parents raise stupid children. It's a fact. The kind of people who settle for cheap tutoring clearly don't care if their child succeeds.
Kaylee, you can't talk about people that way. You're being classist and incredibly disrespectful. You know perfectly well not every family can spend thousands a month on education.
And those families will stay exactly where they are, at the bottom, just like you.
Excuse me?
Let's not pretend. You didn't finish high school. You've never had a proper job. You live off of your son because you can't support yourself. You're exactly the cautionary tale I don't want Kyle to become.
That's incredibly hurtful. You're right that I didn't have the opportunity to finish school, but that doesn't make me a bad person or a bad influence on Kyle.
It makes you unqualified to comment on what Kyle needs to succeed. Alec and I both went to Harvard. That's the standard we live by. Kyle must go to a top-tier school. Anything less is failure.
But have you even asked Kyle what he wants? Whether he wants to go to an elite prep school or follow in your footsteps? Or is this all just about what you want?
What I want is for my son to have a future. You clearly didn't care enough about your own to finish school. If you loved Kyle, you'd do everything to prevent him from ending up like you.
You think you can guilt me into handing over $2,000 a month by throwing my past in my face?
I think you should be grateful you're even part of this household. You're uneducated, poor, and dependent. We've let you live here rent-free long enough. Now it's time to give something back.
I give plenty. I cook, I clean, I've helped raise your son since he was a toddler.
And now you'll pay. You're not here to give parenting advice or opinions. You're here to write checks and stay out of the way.
So that's how you see me? Just a bank account?
A quiet one. This family needs results, not your sentimental distractions.
And what happens if I say no?
If you say no, then I'll know exactly where your loyalties lie, and Kyle will too.
Are you threatening to turn him against me?
No, I'm warning you. You either help us give him a future, or you stay part of the problem.
Then let me ask you something, Kaylee. If your idea of a future is raising a child in fear of becoming like his grandmother, is that really success?
Spare me the lectures. You made your choices. Don't drag Kyle down with you.
I may not have had your degrees, Kaylee, but I know how to love a child without turning him into a trophy.
Then prove it. Pay up. Otherwise, maybe it's time we reconsider whether this arrangement is working at all.
I'll speak to Alec before I decide anything. This wasn't the deal I agreed to, and I won't be strong-armed by my own daughter-in-law.
Feel free, but don't expect him to take your side. This isn't personal. It's just what Kyle needs.
No, what you need is control, and I'm starting to think Kyle's already paying the price. Alec, I need to talk to you right now. Did you seriously tell Kaylee I'm supposed to give her $2,000 a month?
What? Mom, wait, what are you talking about?
Don't act like you don't know. She told me it was your idea. That you said if the household budget's tight, I should be the one to help.
No, I never said that. I didn't tell her to ask you for money. I would never do such a thing. Why would I?
All I'm telling you is exactly what she said to me. She came to me with a spreadsheet and a breakdown of tutoring expenses, claiming you were the one who brought it up.
I'm telling you, that's not what I meant. I did say something about you helping, but I meant with tutoring. Like helping Kyle with his studies, not giving us money.
So you did bring me up.
Yeah, I did, but not like that. I told her maybe we should ask you to help Kyle study. I mean, Mom, you were the reason I even got into college. You taught me better than half the teachers I had.
That's kind of you to say.
It's not just kindness, it's the truth. You made learning fun. You never once yelled or pressured me. You had a way of explaining things that just made sense. I remember math clicking for the first time because of you.
I remember that. It was fractions, wasn't it?
Yeah, fractions and decimals. You used measuring cups and pie slices. I still think about that every time I bake. That's why I said what I said. I didn't mean money, Mom. I meant I wanted Kyle to experience that.
You really think I could help him?
Absolutely. And honestly, it might be what he needs. His scores haven't been going up. The tutors are good on paper, but he seems stressed all the time. Maybe he needs something warmer, something familiar.
I'd be happy to help him study. Of course I would. He's my grandson. But Kaylee made it very clear she doesn't want my help, unless it's financial.
What do you mean?
She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're a bottom feeder." Said I'm uneducated, poor, and useless except for handing over a check.
She said that?
Verbatim. And when I tried to tell her I loved Kyle and wanted what's best for him, she said, "Just shut up and pay. You're not here to think."
Good grief! I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't know she talked to you like that. I would have never let that slide if I'd heard it myself.
I know you wouldn't, but it still happened, and I need you to understand how that felt.
You don't have to explain. I messed up. I should have been more careful with my words. I should have spoken to her more directly. I never meant for you to be treated like that.
I believe you, but you live with her. You see how she talks, and you didn't stop it.
You're right. I've let too much slide. I keep telling myself I'm keeping the peace, but what I really should be thinking is, at what cost?
Exactly. I want to help. I'd love nothing more than to sit with Kyle and show him that learning can be joyful. But I can't do it in a house where I'm spoken to like that. I can't teach with my dignity in pieces on the floor.
You shouldn't have to, and I won't ask you to.
I'm not angry. I'm just tired. I thought we were a family, but she treats me like some unwanted burden, like an expense to be managed.
I'll fix this, I promise.
You don't need to fix anything for me. You need to figure out what kind of home you want for your son. One where he's pressured into a mold, or one where he's actually seen.
I hear you, and I'll do better. You didn't deserve any of this.
Thank you. That means more than you know.
Well, Megan, I hope you enjoyed your time living with us because it's officially over now. Your belongings are outside, nicely boxed, even though you hardly deserve that courtesy.
What are you talking about? Why would my things be outside?
Because you're no longer welcome in this house, effective immediately. Consider this your notice of eviction, minus the legal niceties.
You're throwing me out? What on earth for?
Let's not play dumb. I got a call from Kyle's tutoring center today. Care to guess what they told me? He's been skipping sessions, multiple sessions actually, with no excuse. And today he didn't show up again.
I didn't know he'd skipped more than once, but yes, I took him out today.
Ah, so you admit it. Wonderful. You sabotaged his education and now expect sympathy? My son missed an elite prep session because you decided he needed a milkshake and curly fries?
He looked pale. His hands were shaking. I was worried, Kaylee. The boy was exhausted. He needed to breathe.
He needed to study, not be dragged to a chain diner like some dropout playing babysitter. Do you have any concept of what's at stake here?
Of course I do. That's why I was trying to help.
Help? No, you interfered. You undermined the academic path of a child who's meant for greatness, all because your fragile, outdated instincts told you he needed a break. Newsflash, this is why your life fell apart.
That's a cruel thing to say.
Is it? Because facts don't care about feelings. You didn't finish school. You never built a career. You live off your son's charity. You're a walking warning label, and I'll be damned if Kyle ends up anything like you.
You think I'm dangerous because I gave him one afternoon off?
No, I think you're dangerous because you still believe affection is more important than discipline. That's how mediocrity is born.
Kaylee, I didn't take him to the arcade. I sat with him. We talked. I asked him what was stressing him out.
And in doing so, you gave him permission to slack off. You cracked the door open to laziness, and now I'm left to deal with the consequences. You should have stayed in your lane.
He's 13. He's not a machine. Even prodigies need to rest.
Oh, please. Burnout? That's what you're going with? That's just a euphemism for spoiled and soft. I swear, your generation babied kids into mediocrity. If I ran my home the way you ran your life, Kyle would be eating instant noodles in a trailer park.
You're being ridiculous. I didn't mean to disrupt anything. I saw a child who needed kindness.
What you meant is irrelevant. You are not qualified to make decisions about my son's future. I don't care if you raised 2 boys 40 years ago with nothing but your outdated charm and a pot of soup. That doesn't make you Harvard material.
Kaylee.
No, I've tolerated your presence here long enough, out of pity, mind you. You've never paid rent, never paid a cent toward Kyle's future, and now you're actively sabotaging it.
I was never asked to pay. Alec invited me here. You both said this was about family.
That was before you decided to play mentor. Before you started whispering your sad little wisdom into Kyle's ears. Oh, honey, you look tired. Oh, sweetheart, don't push too hard. It's a poison, Megan, wrapped in lace.
You don't seriously think my presence is ruining him?
Oh, I absolutely do. You are the physical embodiment of failure, and I won't have him looking at you every day and thinking that's an option.
I can't believe how vicious you're being.
Vicious? I'm being honest. Brutally, necessarily honest. You are a relic, and this family, my family, has no space for dead weight.
I don't want to live somewhere I'm treated like garbage, but don't fool yourself into thinking that kicking me out is going to magically fix your problems.
It'll be the first step. Without your distractions, Kyle can finally focus on his goals.
No, he'll just be lonelier, sadder, more pressured. He's a smart boy, but even the brightest minds can break under this kind of expectation.
Good. Let him break now and rebuild stronger. That's how champions are made.
No, that's how children grow up, resenting their parents.
You've made your point and your exit, so let's not prolong this. I want you out before sunset.
I'll go, but you're not driving out a parasite, Kaylee. You're driving out someone who loved your son deeply and never once asked for anything in return.
Spare me the martyr act. You gave him weakness and called it wisdom. You think you helped him? He needs structure, not story time.
You're wrong, and one day he's going to tell you that himself, and that day may come sooner than you think.
Oh, get over yourself. My son is loyal to me. Now I've heard all that I care for out of you for one night. All that you need to take from this conversation is that you are gone. The end.
Then I guess I'm leaving too! You can go ahead and throw all my stuff on the curb right next to Grandma's stuff!
Wait, Kyle? How long have you been there?
Long enough! I saw your texts, all of them! Every single word you just threw at Grandma like she's nothing!
You shouldn't be reading private adult conversations. This has nothing to do with you.
It has everything to do with me! You're kicking out the only person who's been listening to me for months! So yeah, it's about me now!
You don't understand the situation. She undermined your schooling. She took you out of tutoring behind my back.
I asked her to! I begged her, actually! I said I couldn't take it anymore! The schedules, the pressure, the tests, they were crushing me! And you didn't even notice!
They were, but how was I supposed to know? You never said a word.
Because when I do, you call me lazy, or dramatic, or tell me Harvard kids don't complain. So I stopped talking to you and started talking to Grandma instead.
Kyle, don't be ridiculous. You're a child. You're not moving out. You have no idea what's at stake.
I know exactly what's at stake. My sanity, my happiness, my future. And I'm done pretending your version of success is the only one that matters.
You need structure, discipline. You're finally improving and you want to throw that all away?
Improving? You think I'm just now improving because of the tutoring? No, I've been skipping that tutoring center for 2 weeks. I go straight to Grandma's. She helps me with schoolwork, explains everything in ways that actually make sense. And guess what? I just got the best scores in my class on the last test. This is someone who used to be dead last. You still think she's dragging me down?
Top 5? That's impossible. You've been skipping prep school. You've been slacking. How could you improve so much?
Because she made me like studying. I don't dread it when it's with her. She makes jokes, gives examples from stuff I care about, never yells when I mess up. I actually want to do well because I want to see her smile when I get it right.
Sweetheart, so what? Now you're saying my methods don't work?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Your methods make me feel like I'm being squeezed into a mold, like I'm a resume, not a human being.
I want you to reach your full potential.
No, you want me to validate you, to make you look like some flawless Ivy League mom with a prodigy son. You don't even see me anymore.
That's not true. I see you.
Do you really? All you ever talk about is Harvard, this achievement, that. Even my lowest scores you turned into a lecture about legacy. I'm not a trophy, Mom. I'm not your Harvard resume item.
Kyle, please. You're too young to understand the long-term impact of education on your future.
Stop! Just stop! Every time I tell you how I feel, you act like I'm stupid for saying it! I'm done pretending I don't know what's good for me! I'm gonna live with Grandma, and I'm gonna keep studying her way!
And what about all the money we've spent? The time, the resources, the sacrifices we've made for you?
None of that matters if I'm miserable. You never even asked if I wanted any of it. You just decided. And I'm finally deciding something for myself.
So you're abandoning your family for a woman who buys you dessert and lets you skip class?
She doesn't let me skip class. She helps me learn in a way I actually understand. And if you want to call her just some dropout, go ahead. But she's done more for me in 2 weeks than your entire checklist ever did.
You're going to regret this.
No, Mom. I've been regretting not doing it sooner.
You're throwing everything away. Your education, your future, us.
I'm not throwing anything away. I'm choosing something better, something real. You raised me to chase perfection, but Grandma taught me to love learning, and that's the difference.
Fine, go. Be ungrateful. But when it all comes crashing down, don't come crawling back.
I won't, because for the first time I'm standing on my own feet, and I'm not standing on your shoulders to do it.
This is insane. I don't get it. He still won't come home. I've tried everything. Texts, calls, even waiting outside after school. He just turns away every time.
Because he's at peace here. He sleeps through the night. He hums when he studies. He's not hiding under stress anymore.
Don't act like this is some miracle. You bribed him. That's all this is.
Bribed him?
You took him out for desserts. You let him skip tutoring. Of course he thinks living with you is fun. You turned this into a slumber party.
Kaylee, it wasn't bribes. It was care. He was burning out under your system. He needed to breathe. That's not manipulation. That's compassion.
Oh, please, don't dress it up like you're some educational savior. He only wants to stay with you because you let him do whatever he wants. You're not raising him, you're spoiling him.
Is that what you think? That a child feeling safe, happy, and capable means he's being spoiled?
I think he's being coddled. And I won't apologize for holding my son to a higher standard than whatever outdated system you're feeding him.
And yet that outdated system is working. He's thriving, Kaylee. Maybe it's not about bribes. Maybe it's about love. The kind he needed all along.
Shut up! You don't know what he needs. He's my son, not yours. Oh no. Alec, is that you? Come on, can't I have any private conversations at all?
Maybe you should stop saying things that you need to hide. Yeah, I've been reading along for your entire conversation, and I think it's time I said this out loud. I'm moving out, Kaylee. I'm staying here with Mom.
You're what? Are you out of your mind? You're just going to leave our house and move in with your mother?
I'm doing what I should have done a long time ago. Kyle needs stability, and he has it here. He needs someone who knows how to reach him. And it's not a tutor, and it's definitely not that prep center.
So you're seriously picking her over your own wife?
I'm picking the person who's helping our son become himself again. He laughs now. He actually eats breakfast. He's doing well in school, but not because we punished him. It's because someone finally gave him room to breathe.
Oh, and I suppose I'm the villain, the evil mother who cares too much.
You're the mother who forgot that Kyle's a child, not a resume, who forgot that pushing isn't the same thing as raising.
You think you can just walk away and dump your responsibilities on me?
No one's dumping anything. I'm taking responsibility. That's why I'm offering Mom $1,500 a month, formally, contract and everything. She'll be Kyle's private tutor and caretaker. Because clearly, she's the only one who understands what he needs.
Are you hearing yourself? You're turning your mother into some kind of paid guru while I'm just, what? The discarded wife?
You're the one who discarded respect. You've insulted her since day one. You called her a burden, a failure, and a parasite without the courage to say it to her face. And I said nothing. That's on me.
You're making a huge mistake. She manipulated both of you. All that cozy bonding. It's just emotional blackmail with cookies and compliments.
No, Kaylee. What she gave him wasn't manipulation. It was kindness, and it worked. His test scores prove it. His mood proves it. The way he wants to study now, that's not because he's being tricked. It's because he feels safe.
And what about me? Where does that leave me, Alec?
It leaves you in the house you wanted to rule, with no one left to rule over. I'm not gonna sit by while you tear down the people I love just to build up your image.
You're leaving me alone. You're turning your back on me like I don't matter.
I'm not turning my back on you. I'm stepping away from the version of you that refuses to listen, refuses to adapt, and refuses to show even basic decency to my mother.
So what? This is it? You and your mother and Kyle playing happy family while I get cut out of my own life?
You cut yourself out the moment you decided control mattered more than connection. I'm done making excuses for the way you treat people.
Alec, please, don't do this. Don't say this is over.
I'm saying we need to separate. We'll handle the rest after Kyle's exam is over. He doesn't need to deal with divorce drama right now, but I won't keep pretending this household works.
No, You can't just announce a separation like you're changing dinner plans. That's not how this works.
It's already in motion. I'll be living here from now on. We'll figure out logistics, but the emotional part, that ended the moment you threw my mother out like garbage.
So you're just done?
I'm done with disrespect, done with performance parenting, done with watching you turn love into leverage. Mom stays, Kyle stays, and I stay with them.
Please, Megan, you've got to help me. I don't want to fight anymore. I want them to come home. Kyle already passed the test. There should be any reason for them to stay there, but they won't come back no matter what I say. Can you talk to them? Tell them to come back?
I appreciate you reaching out, Kaylee, truly. And I'm glad to hear you're trying to reconnect with Kyle, but I think it's too late for me to intervene.
Too late? What does that mean? You're the one who took them. You could fix this if you wanted to. One word from you and they'd listen. Alec would listen.
This isn't something I can or should control anymore. They've made their decisions, and I'm not going to override them. And, for the record, I've suggested to them several times that they could move back home with you, but they don't want to.
You think I don't know that? That they've made decisions? They've shut me out completely, and it's because of you. You somehow made them see you as this nurturing genius. It doesn't make sense. You're a dropout. You didn't even graduate high school. How did you become better than me? I've had the degrees. I've had the credentials. How is this happening? It's humiliating. It's unfair. You were supposed to be the example of what not to become, and now they treat you like some kind of guru.
If it helps you to believe this happened overnight, that's your choice. But the truth is, I never stopped studying, not for a single year.
What?
After I dropped out, I still loved learning. I bought used textbooks from thrift stores. I read them cover to cover. I studied on my own every week for years. Eventually, I received my GED. And this year, I applied to Harvard Extension School and was accepted.
No, that's not possible. You're lying. You've always been pathetic. I've seen it with my own eyes. Sitting at the kitchen table with crossword puzzles and old math books like it was some hobby. You think that makes you a scholar?
It makes me someone who never stopped trying. Someone who wanted to be better, not for anyone else's approval, but for myself. And now I have the same qualifications you used to look down on me. The only difference is, I never used mine to belittle others.
This is some kind of stunt. There's no way. This whole thing, this whole act, it's manipulation.
Believe what you want, but I didn't do this for Alec or Kyle. I did it for the girl I used to be. The one everyone assumed would never amount to anything. I'm not going to argue with you, Kaylee. I have no interest in winning anything here. The decisions that matter now are between you, your husband, and your son. I'm stepping out of the middle.
So that's it? You get your applause, your degree, your perfect little redemption arc, and I'm just left here alone?
No one's left you anywhere, but you pushed a lot of people away. That's not something I can undo. I'll leave the rest to you all. Whatever happens next, I'll respect the choices you make, even if you never speak to me again. If you want to save your marriage, do it yourself. It's been a few months now. Alec and Kyle live here full-time. We've settled into a quiet rhythm. We eat meals together, shared study time, even have the occasional movie night. The apartment's small, but somehow it feels fuller than any house we lived in before. Kaylee moved into a one-bedroom across town. We see her sometimes, usually for dinner at a neutral restaurant. Kyle goes, but he rarely says much. He told me once that whenever he steps inside her space, her words start playing in his head again. The ones about failure, bottom feeders, and the like. He says it makes it hard to focus. I don't blame him. Alec hasn't said the word divorce directly, but we all know it's only a matter of time. Whatever bond they had is stretched so thin, I'm not sure it can hold anything anymore. As for me, I started classes at Harvard Extension this spring. I'm a real student now, complete with textbooks, lectures, papers, and all. It's both strange and wonderful. I feel like I've returned to something I was never allowed to reach the first time. People like Kaylee think value comes from diplomas and income. But I know better now. No one gets to define your worth except you, and it's never too late to grow. Miley, what the hell were you doing at Kent's apartment? And don't give me that fake innocent routine. I saw you. I saw you walking out of his door like you lived there. Your hair was a mess, you had a Boston bag in your hand, and Kent was standing behind you, grinning like the cheating scumbag he clearly is. Explain, right now. I swear to God, I'm not in the mood for games.
Wow, and here I was hoping I'd get to break it to you gently. But hey, this works too. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, huh? Yes, I was there. Yes, we slept together. And no, I don't feel bad. Not even a little.
You're unbelievable. You're seriously just admitting it?
Oh, please, what's the point in denying it? You saw me, you saw us. And honestly, you showing up like that was a blessing. I was getting tired of sneaking around and playing the supportive BFF. Now we don't have to pretend. We can all just live in the truth.
The truth? You mean the truth where my best friend is sleeping with my fiancé behind my back while helping me plan our wedding?
Exactly. See, doesn't it feel better to just say it out loud?
Oh my God, you're sick.
You keep saying that, but honestly, I think I'm just real, and maybe that's what's bothering you.
No, what's bothering me is that the girl who used to cry when her high school crush ignored her is now stabbing me in the back. Not just that, she's acting like she deserves a medal for it.
Don't you dare bring up high school like you were ever on my level. Let's be clear about something, Allison. Back then, I was the one everyone wanted. I was the one that guys texted first. You were just that quiet little extra floating in my background. You were lucky I even spoke to you, let alone called you my friend.
That's how you really saw me? As background noise?
Come on! You think someone like me would actually hang out with someone like you if I didn't feel sorry for you? Even the teachers felt awkward when you transferred in. You showed up in those sad beige cardigans, mumbling through your self-introduction. You were a total nobody.
You are so damn proud of being a teenage mean girl, aren't you?
No, don't twist this. I'm proud of knowing my worth. And I'm still the one who turns heads, who gets what she wants, who doesn't settle for leftovers.
So you seduced my fiancé to prove what? That you could? That you're still hot?
I didn't have to seduce him. He came to me. He practically threw himself at me. He said he couldn't remember the last time he actually wanted someone. You got boring, predictable, like brushing your teeth, something he had to do, but never looked forward to.
Shut up.
Why? Can't handle the truth? He told me that being with you felt like eating plain oatmeal every morning. That with me, it's fire, excitement, something worth waking up for. And you want to know the best part? He proposed to me.
You're lying.
Nope. Rose gold band, oval diamond, 2 carats, custom engraving. It's already at the jeweler being resized. And let me just say, it puts your little ring to shame.
He gave you a ring while he was still engaged to me?
Technically, yes, but emotionally, he's been mine for months. We laugh together, we make plans together, we talk about baby names, Allison. Baby names.
You're disgusting, and he's worse.
No, what's disgusting is you walking around like some fairy tale princess. You act like life owes you a perfect wedding just because you stayed quiet and nice all your life. Wake up! That stuff doesn't get you a happily ever after. It gets you left behind.
You think you're the heroine here?
Well, let's see. I'm the one getting the man, the ring, and the wedding.
You can't be serious. But come on, deep down you had to know it couldn't last. I can't believe I ever thought you were my friend.
Well, that's on you. You mistook pity for loyalty. I stayed close because I felt sorry for you, but now I'm finally doing what I should have done years ago.
Which is what, exactly? Ruin someone else's life to boost your own ego?
Which is take what's mine, and Kent, he's mine now.
He's not a prize. He's a man who made a promise.
Yeah? Well, he broke it. Get used to that. Because whether you like it or not, Allison, this is happening. You've been replaced by someone prettier, smarter, better.
You can call yourself whatever you want, Miley, but nothing about you looks better to me now. You look like a sad, desperate little girl still chasing high school popularity.
And you look like someone who just lost everything. Funny how that works.
I lost a liar and a traitor. That's not everything. That's a weight lifted.
Keep telling yourself that. Meanwhile, I'll be busy living the life you thought was yours.
Kent, I want you to say it. Right here, right now. Did you really propose to Miley? Is everything she said true? Because I'm sitting here trying to breathe, and I need to know if you're really that kind of man.
There's no point pretending anymore, Allison. Yes, I proposed to her, and yes, I meant it.
You're disgusting. You and I were engaged. We had a wedding date. My parents were already preparing the guest list, and the entire time you were sneaking around with her?
Oh, please don't act like we were some great love story. You and I both know this engagement was never about feelings. It was about convenience. Our parents arranged it, and we just went along with it like good little puppets.
You're a liar. We were together long before our parents ever made things official. We started dating back in junior high. We made plans. We talked about the future like it was ours.
Yeah, well, that was before your family became irrelevant, back when your last name actually meant something in business circles. Sure, being with you made sense, but look at you now. You're just another common girl trying to cling to a life that doesn't belong to her anymore.
Is that really what you think of me? That I'm nothing without my family name?
That's not what I think, that's what everyone thinks. Why do you think people have been whispering behind your back ever since the bankruptcy? They're all wondering the same thing. When will Kent finally come to his senses?
Unbelievable. So, instead of just breaking up with me like a decent human being, you dragged me along for months and lied straight to my face?
If I had dumped you right after your father's company collapsed, everyone would have seen me for what I really am, an opportunist. It would have made me look like some heartless jerk who bailed the second the money dried up. So yeah, I waited. I played along just long enough for it to look like the relationship just fizzled out on its own.
That is beyond cowardly. You used me as your social cover until something better came along.
I didn't use you, Allison. I tolerated you. And then, like fate, she showed up. Miley messaged me out of nowhere, said she recognized me, said she remembered I was your fiancé. And the second I met her, I couldn't believe you two had even been in the same room, let alone the same school. She's stunning, sharp, confident, everything you pretended to be, but never were.
I can't believe what I'm reading. So that's it? That's all it took for you to throw away 6 years?
It wasn't 6 years of love, Allison. It was 6 years of maintaining an image. Once that image cracked, once you stopped being the heiress everyone respected, you were just boring. And Miley, she made me feel alive again. When she looks at me, she actually sees me, not just the guy who fits neatly into your carefully curated future.
No, she sees a man she can brag about stealing. You think she cares about you? She just wanted to win. That's all this is to her.
Maybe it started that way. Maybe she wanted to prove a point, but guess what? Even if it did start as a game, I'm the one who's choosing her. She makes me laugh. She makes me want things. And when I look at her, I don't feel like I'm trapped in some dusty family legacy.
You're pathetic. You tossed aside everything we had because your pride couldn't handle losing status.
Call it what you want, but the truth is, I don't want to marry someone who drags me down. And that's what you've become, Allison. A dead weight I've been carrying for too long.
You're heartless. You're vile. You used to at least pretend to care about what was right.
I care about what's smart, and staying with you, that would have been a terrible decision.
I hope you choke on your own arrogance.
I'll be too busy enjoying my new life to care. You can keep your old photos and fake memories. I'm moving on to something better.
Hey, Allison, guess what? I have amazing news. I'm pregnant. Isn't that just so beautiful? I mean, I always wondered. When you're truly in love, does your body just know? Because boom, one test, one line, and bam, positive on the very first try.
Tell me you're not serious right now.
Nope, totally serious. Kent and I are going to be parents. Honestly, it was sooner than we expected, but love works in mysterious ways, right? Of course, I'm thrilled, but let's be real, pregnancy is going to ruin my waistline. I mean, I can't exactly strut around in a wedding dress with a huge belly, right? So yeah, I need to get that wedding in before I start showing. Which is why we've decided to go ahead and use the wedding you planned. I mean, everything's already booked, why waste it?
What are you even talking about?
Your wedding, Allison. The venue, the date, the dress fitting, it's all perfect. It was so considerate of you to schedule it all just right for us.
Are you out of your mind? That wedding is mine. You don't get to just take it.
Come on, don't be so selfish. It's not like you're using it anymore. And honestly, do you really want all that money to go to waste? Besides, you of all people should understand. It's a high-end venue, right? Kent said he needs to invite at least 300 people, you know, for his corporate image. So we need all the help we can get with the guest list, which is why you're officially invited.
You think I'm going to show up to my own stolen wedding and clap politely while you pretend that you earned any of this?
Don't make it weird. It's just numbers, okay? I mean, you were going to be there anyway. Now you just get a different seat. And honestly, you should be proud. You helped us so much. The color palette, the floral designer, the hors d'oeuvres, all fabulous.
You're insane.
No, I'm efficient. Some people plan weddings, others live them. Anyway, I didn't even want to invite you at first. I thought it might be painful for you, watching me walk down the aisle with your former fiancé. But hey, 300 is a big number, and it's not like you have any better plans. You can sit in the back, keep your sunglasses on, and try not to cry too loud.
This is a new low for you, Miley. You're not just being cruel, you're pathetic.
Aw, someone's bitter. It must be hard, knowing you lost everything to someone you used to pity. But guess what? Kent chose me, the baby chose me, and now the whole world's going to see it.
The world's going to see how shameless you are. I hate to break it to you, but you didn't win anything.
No, Allison, I rescued it. You were holding on to a fantasy that was never going to happen. I just made it real.
You can keep telling yourself you've won, Miley. You can flaunt your stolen fiancé, your smug little smile, and your fantasy about the wedding being yours. But the truth? You never took anything from me. Not really.
Oh, wow, here we go. You're still clinging to that wedding like it means something. Allison, you don't even have a groom anymore. Who are you gonna marry? You were left at the starting line, and I've already crossed the finish line. Are you planning to marry your own ego now? Or maybe just stand there in your dress and hug yourself?
Actually, no. I have someone new. I'm engaged.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm engaged. And before you spiral, yes, it's real. And no, it's not some sad attempt to even the score. It's someone who saw me for who I am and didn't run from it.
Wait. Are you actually expecting me to believe that you magically found a new fiancé after being publicly dumped and humiliated? That sounds like a fairy tale written by a girl who's been crying into a pillow for 3 weeks straight.
It's not magic, it's timing. We knew each other in middle school. We lost touch when I transferred, but we bumped into each other recently at a work event. He messaged me a few days later just to ask how I was doing after everything with Kent. And you know what? We talked. We laughed. We remembered who we used to be. Then he told me something I never saw coming, that he liked me back then, that he'd never stopped thinking about me.
Oh my god, this is too much. So now we're just recycling junior high crushes like expired yogurt? Is this what you've been reduced to? Digging through the emotional clearance bin for the first guy who still remembers your birthday?
He didn't chase me because I was broken. He stepped forward because he always saw me clearly, even when I didn't. And when I had nothing left, he still thought I was enough.
That's not sweet, that's sad! What kind of loser waits around for years, watching from the sidelines, and then swoops in the moment you get dumped? Sounds like a guy with zero standards and even less pride.
Or maybe he just has empathy, something you've clearly never learned. He didn't need to destroy someone else to feel valuable. He just showed up when it mattered.
Wow, you really are trying to spin this into some kind of fairy tale. But let's be real here. You're not the heroine, Allison. You're the footnote. You were supposed to be the safe choice, the easy match. Now you're clinging to a sad, nostalgic fantasy while I'm over here carrying the heir to the family dynasty.
You're not carrying a future, you're carrying consequences. And just because you're louder doesn't mean you're right.
You think this little engagement changes anything? You still don't have the wedding. I do.
No, Miley, you have a mess. I still have something real. And that wedding, you can have it. I'm going to have a better one myself.
Okay, I'm done playing nice. You keep talking like you're still gonna have your dream wedding. That just leaves me with one question. How? You don't have Kent, and no way your new bargain bin fiancé can afford that kind of luxury. That venue, those flowers, the catering, you think people don't know what that costs?
It's already paid for. I don't need to afford it.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means Kent's parents are still covering the costs. The venue, the dress, the vendors, everything we originally booked. They offered to keep the arrangement.
Are you serious? Why would they pay for your wedding now? You're not even marrying their son anymore.
Because this was never just about Kent and me. It was a formal agreement between families, and when Kent broke that agreement in the most humiliating way possible, his parents were horrified. They said they couldn't undo what happened, but they could still honor the commitment they made. They told me I still deserved to walk into that venue with my head held high.
Oh my god, that is so pathetic! You're letting your ex's parents bankroll your rebound wedding? You're really okay with being their charity case?
You're calling it charity, but I call it accountability. They made a promise, and they chose to keep it.
Unbelievable. And what, they're just throwing money at you now to ease their guilt?
They're doing more than that. They've been sending gifts, jewelry, designer bags, handwritten letters. They even had a custom bracelet made for me with a message engraved, "To the strongest woman in the world."
Are you kidding me?
No, they said they should have protected me better, that I didn't deserve to be caught in their son's mess.
You have got to be joking. I'm the one carrying their grandchild, and you're the one getting spoiled like some tragic princess?
Looks that way.
No, that's not possible. That makes no sense. I'm the one carrying their grandchild. That's their blood. You're just some ex-fiancé they barely tolerated.
That's what you'd like to believe, but you know what? They never saw me as just Kent's fiancé. They treated me like family long before there was a ring.
Then why aren't they treating me like family now? I'm the one who's giving them a baby. I'm the one who's actually tied to them.
Because it's not about biology, Miley. It's about respect. And you burned through all of yours the second you helped Kent lie.
I didn't help him lie. He said they were separated. He told me you were the problem, that you were cold, demanding, uncaring.
And you didn't question it. You just leapt into his bed and assumed that made you the winner. But his parents, they saw through that act before the first ultrasound.
Okay, so what now? You're their daughter and I'm some incubator? That's how they want to play this?
I'm not playing anything. I'm just living in the truth. They sent me flowers every Friday, called just to check on how I'm doing. They even apologized for raising a son who betrayed me.
You're lying. They wouldn't say that. They love Kent.
They do love him, but they're ashamed of him. They said he lost the best thing that ever happened to him, and they refused to reward that.
This is insane. I should be the one getting their support. I'm the one who's actually part of their future now.
Funny, because they don't seem to think so. They've already said they won't be involved unless Kent changes.
They wouldn't turn their backs on their own grandchild. That's cruel. That's unforgivable.
They didn't say they'd abandon the child, just the chaos around it. And unfortunately, that means keeping their distance from you.
You don't get to act like you're the victim and I'm the villain. You're the one who got dumped. You're the one who was supposed to be alone forever.
I was, and then I got back up. I moved forward with dignity. But then you wouldn't know much about dignity, would you?
Allison! I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I didn't know who else to turn to. My parents just summoned me. They told me I'm no longer the heir. They've cut me off completely.
Meaning what?
They said I'm not morally fit to run the company, that I've embarrassed the entire family. They said they can't forgive what I did to you.
Definitely valid, yeah.
And then they said something even worse, that even if Miley's baby is mine, they won't recognize it as their grandchild.
Wow.
They looked at me like I was a stranger. My own father said I'm no longer his son. They told me not to come home again, not now, not ever.
That's more severe than I expected, but I'm not surprised they're furious. You didn't just hurt me, you humiliated everyone tied to this arrangement.
I didn't think they'd actually go this far. I thought maybe after some time they'd come around. I thought once the baby came they'd soften, but they were ice cold. They said I'd forfeited everything, and I think they meant it.
You made your choice, Kent. You knew what was at stake, and you went through with it anyway. You walked away from me, from your family's trust, from everything we spent years building. And now you're shocked that it all collapsed?
I didn't think I'd lose everything!
That's what betrayal costs. You don't get to set the terms after you've broken them.
I don't even know what to do now! I feel like I've destroyed my entire future!
Then maybe it's time you stop blaming everyone else and start owning the damage you caused. Whatever's left of your life now, you'll have to build it with Miley. This is the path you chose, so walk it.
Allison, give it back! I want everything, everything! The bags, the jewelry, the letters, the stupid engraved bracelet, all of it! Those were supposed to be mine!
You've got to be kidding me.
Do I look like I'm joking? Those were meant for Kent's wife. And guess what? That's me now! Not you! Not anymore! I'm the one carrying his child. I'm the one staying by his side. You're just the discarded starter girlfriend.
You've already taken enough, Miley. The man, the wedding, the future I was building. And now you want to strip away the past too?
Yes, because I deserve it. You think walking around in their gifts makes you special? I'm the one who should be dripping in diamonds. I'm the one who should be pampered and praised and adored. I'm the one they should be showering with gifts and letters and apologies. But instead, they're treating me like I'm nothing. And you're still their precious little princess?
Because they saw who you really are.
They saw nothing. They've made a huge mistake. You think you're better than me because they pity you? Because they handed you a bracelet as a consolation prize?
No, I think I'm better because I never had to beg for respect. I earned it by not destroying people to get what I wanted.
You're unbelievable. I'm the one who won. I have Kent. I have the baby. I'm his real family now.
Then why are you so desperate?
I went to their house, Allison. I stood outside their stupid mansion and waited, thinking they'd let me explain, that they'd be decent people and hear me out. You want to know what they did? They dumped a whole bucket of water on me, right in my face. His mother didn't say a word. She just dumped it and told me never to come back, like I was some filthy animal. I was soaked, freezing, humiliated, and they slammed the door in my face like I was garbage. How could they do that to me?
Because you weren't supposed to be there. You weren't part of the future they built. You were the wrecking ball.
This isn't fair. This wasn't the plan. I was supposed to be picking out flowers. I was supposed to be glowing in my dress, not crying on the train back to my cramped apartment. I didn't do all this to be treated like trash. I was supposed to rise, Allison. I was supposed to win.
Then maybe you shouldn't have stepped on everyone on your way up.
You don't get to lecture me. You got everything. The wedding, the sympathy, the luxury gifts. And what do I get? Some moody guy who complains about my cooking and a baby that no one wants to acknowledge.
I didn't scheme my way into anything. That's the difference. You took, I received. And now you're angry that the world didn't give you more for burning it down.
You're just lucky, that's all. You got lucky.
No, Miley. I just never forgot the difference between love and conquest. And you never cared to learn. Kent was kicked out of his family's apartment not long after the final blow. He and Miley moved into her childhood home, a cramped, aging place that couldn't hide how far they'd both fallen. Kent complained constantly. The rooms were too small, the meals too plain, and the life he'd chosen didn't feel as victorious as he'd imagined. Miley tried to hold it together, but her parents began to crack under the weight of their entitled guests. From what I've heard, it's only a matter of time before they're asked to leave. As for me, I married the man who stood beside me when I had nothing left. He never asked me to pretend. He never made promises he didn't keep. When he was offered an overseas position, I followed him without hesitation. It wasn't the wedding I'd planned, but it was everything I needed. Quiet, honest, free of spectacle. I used to think life was about perfect plans and matching expectations. Now I know better. Peace doesn't come from winning. It comes from knowing you chose what's right, even when no one was watching. And for the first time in years, I'm truly happy.
For the last time, stop messaging me! Unless there's some kind of pressing emergency, I do not want to hear from you, Mom!
Holly, it's December. Are you coming home for Christmas this year? Your cousins are all bringing their families. I already told Aunt Patty you'd be here. I've messaged you 3 times. Can you at least answer?
I am answering, and no, I'm not coming back. Didn't I make that clear last year?
You said you were busy last year. I thought maybe this time would be different.
It's not. Nothing's changed. I've got too much going on. My boss hasn't approved time off, and frankly, I don't feel like wasting the little free time I have flying back to that freezing, drafty shack you call a house.
That shack is your childhood home, and it's not about the house. It's about spending the holidays with your family.
Family? You mean the people who still think it's 1985 and treat me like some middle schooler who never left Ohio? No thanks. I've built a life here. I don't need to freeze my butt off in a town with more boarded up shops than functioning ones.
You haven't been back once since college. You moved to New York for school and just vanished, always too busy. First with classes, then with internships, then with work. There is always an excuse.
It's not an excuse, it's a choice. I chose to move forward, Mom. That place, it's not home anymore. There's no reason to go back.
What do you mean there's no reason? I'm here, me, your mother. That's reason enough, isn't it?
You want honesty? Fine. No, it's not enough of a reason. I have zero interest in sleeping on that lumpy old couch in that cold living room just to pretend I'm some small-town girl who never got out. I make more money in a month now than you ever made in a year. Why would I come back to that?
Because I'm your mother. Because I miss you. Because I still remember the girl who used to call every weekend just to chat. The one who hugged me tight before heading off to college and said, "Thanks for everything, Mom."
That was before I realized how suffocating it all was. How embarrassing. You really think I want to spend my entire Christmas holiday being reminded that my mom still works the factory line? That she lives in a place with rotting window frames and duct tape space heaters?
Is that what you think of me? I'm embarrassing to you?
I didn't say that. Those are your words, not mine. I'm just saying I don't need the reminder. Look, I've worked hard. I've got a career, a future. I'm engaged to someone who actually gets it, who doesn't think ambition is a dirty word.
I raised you alone. I worked 10-hour shifts standing on concrete floors just to keep the lights on and get you through college. Every winter, my fingers would crack and bleed from the cold, and I still got up before sunrise to make your lunches. And now you talk to me like I'm some roach you stepped over.
Would you stop twisting my words like that? I'm just being real. I don't have time for nostalgic guilt trips. I didn't ask you to do all of that for me. You chose to do it on your own volition. Don't expect a trophy.
I didn't want a trophy. I wanted a daughter. One who remembered where she came from. One who didn't throw it all away because she got an apartment in Manhattan and a LinkedIn page that sounds impressive.
Where I came from is the problem. You want me to play house in that sad little town and pretend it didn't take everything in me to get out? No thanks.
I didn't know loving me was such a burden.
It is when you keep dragging me backward. This whole guilt act, the poor mom who did her best routine, I'm done with it. And since you can't take a hint, let me be as explicit as possible. I'm not coming home. Not this year, not next year, probably not ever. I've got my life. You've got yours. Let's stop pretending they overlap.
So that's it? You're just cutting me off?
I'm not cutting you off. I'm setting boundaries. There's a difference.
Right. Well, I hope you have a nice Christmas. Maybe you can buy yourself a treat. Get yourself something fancy with that big paycheck of yours. Me? I'll be here, in my embarrassing little house, alone.
Glad we're on the same page. Merry Christmas, Mom.
Hello, Ms. Margaret. I hope this isn't too sudden. My name is Evan Maddox. I'm Holly's fiancé.
Her fiancé? Well, hello. I didn't even know Holly was engaged. She didn't say a word. Is she okay?
She's fine, doing great, actually. I just felt it was appropriate to introduce myself even though she asked me not to.
She asked you not to talk to me? Why would she say something like that?
She mentioned things have been difficult between you two for a long time, that there's a lot of emotional baggage.
Emotional baggage? From what? Me working myself into the ground so she could have a better life?
I'm just trying to share her side. She told me that after her father passed, you struggled financially, which is understandable, but the problem was that you became controlling. You used guilt to keep her tied down and demanded money from her.
I'm sorry, what? I demanded what? Is that really what she told you?
She said once she got into college, you pressured her constantly, saying that she owed you for raising her. She said she sent money to you out of obligation and ended up with almost nothing left.
That's not true. That is a flat-out lie. I never asked for money, not even once. I busted my back to keep her from feeling that kind of pressure. I skipped meals so she wouldn't have to. I worked holidays, nights, weekends, whatever it took. I would have rather starved than taken a cent from my daughter.
Well, she remembers it differently.
Then she remembers wrong. Or maybe she's rewriting history because it's easier than admitting she abandoned me. Because let me tell you something, Evan. I used to get up at 4 a.m. to pack her lunches. I'd walk to work in the snow just to save bus fare. When the furnace broke, I sealed the windows with bubble wrap and worked double shifts so I could pay the heating guy. So don't you come in here with your fancy CEO words and accuse me of being some manipulative mother. I was trying to survive and give her a damn future.
I'm not trying to accuse anyone of anything. Please, calm down. I just think Holly deserves peace. The only way she found stability was to block you out. Your constant calls and messages felt like harassment.
You know what those calls were? They were me praying she was safe. They were me wondering if my only child had eaten. They were me begging for any kind of sign that she was still in my life. And if that's harassment now, then I guess I'm guilty of loving my daughter too much.
I get that you're emotional right now, but I think we both know boundaries are important. If Holly doesn't want contact, that choice should be respected.
Respected? I respected her when she said she needed space. I gave it. I kept Christmas quiet. I didn't show up at her job or call her boss, but I texted on birthdays. I checked in during the holidays because I'm her mother. That doesn't just stop because she moved to a better zip code.
With all due respect, Ms. Margaret, I trust Holly. I've seen how hard she works and how much she's built without anyone's help. Meanwhile, you made her feel like she could never breathe. She was drowning in your high expectations of her, and you never even thought to extend a helping hand.
Without anyone's help, she's living off the education I paid for with overtime and frozen dinners. That business suit she wears to meetings, I bought with the money I didn't spend on myself for 20 years. Don't sit there and act like she clawed her way up alone. She climbed on my shoulders to get there.
Regardless of how you see it, she's asked for distance, and if that line keeps getting crossed, I'll need to take action. She told me you still work at the plant in Riverfield, is that correct? I'd rather not have to involve your supervisor, but if she feels unsafe or emotionally compromised, I will do what I must.
Are you threatening me now? You're seriously going to come after my job? You don't even know me.
It's not a threat, it's a precaution. I take Holly's well-being seriously, and emotional stress is still stress.
I sacrificed everything for her. Everything. I gave up dates, vacations, even new shoes, just so she wouldn't go without. I didn't complain when she moved away. I didn't say a word when she started ignoring my messages. I sat here in this same chair year after year, waiting for some tiny sign that I still mattered. And now you waltz into my life with your perfect teeth and startup success and act like I'm the villain? Like I'm some toxic parasite who won't let go?
I understand this is hard to hear, but Holly and I are building something new, and part of that means leaving the past where it belongs.
You don't get to decide that, and neither does she. Not while she's slandering me to people I've never even met. If you had any decency, you'd at least ask both sides before playing judge.
I'm doing what's best for Holly, that's my only concern.
Then you'd better pray you really know her, Evan. Because I raised that girl, and if she can lie about me this easily, one day she'll lie to you, too. Well, Holly, I just had a very enlightening chat with your fiancé, a person I didn't even knew existed until he texted me just now, by the way.
Oh, great. I asked him not to talk to you, but then he goes and does it anyway.
He said you told him I begged you for money, that I guilted you into supporting me, that I was emotionally manipulative.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Excuse me? And just what is that supposed to mean?
You never asked outright, I'll give you that, but the pressure was always there. Every phone call, every message was always laced with guilt. I worked so hard for you, Holly. I gave up everything. You said it so many times, I can still hear it ringing in my ears.
I said those things because they were true. I never asked you to pay me back. I never expected a dime. All I ever wanted was to see you happy and safe. Maybe a visit for the holidays now and then. That's it.
It wasn't about money, it was about weight. You hung your whole life around my neck like an anchor. Your sacrifices, your struggles, your miserable little town. I was supposed to carry it all and smile about it?
I gave you everything I had. I wore the same shoes until the soles peeled off. I stitched my winter coat every year instead of buying a new one. I worked the line until my hands cracked open. For you.
And that's exactly the problem. You want to be worshipped for it. You think raising me earns you lifetime loyalty, but it doesn't work like that anymore.
What do you mean anymore? I was your mother then, and I'm still your mother now. That doesn't just get erased because you landed a good job and a flashy ring.
It's not just a flashy ring. Evan is a self-made CEO. His startup brought in 7 figures last year. His investors love him. His company is scaling nationally. We're building something real. You think I could afford to drag your story into that?
My story?
Your background, the rotting siding on the house, the space heaters, the rusted mailbox, the food stamps. Do you know how that sounds in my world?
You mean our world. You didn't grow up in Manhattan. You grew up here with me.
Exactly, and that's the part I needed to leave behind. I don't need people in Evan's circle asking why my mom still works a line job in a factory. I don't need them Googling our address and seeing broken windows and paint peeling off the porch. I've worked too hard to climb up. I'm not about to fall back down because I couldn't cut ties.
And so you're going to cut me off.
It's a necessary sacrifice. Evan believes I'm from nothing because of bad luck, not bad choices. That I've overcome hardship, not that I came from someone who settled for it.
Settled? You think I chose to struggle? You think I wanted this life?
You stayed, didn't you?
Because I had a daughter to raise. Because I put your needs ahead of my dreams every single day. I could have run. I could have given you up, but I stayed. And now you spit on that?
I don't owe you anything for staying. That was your choice. Everything about my life up until I freed myself was your choice. I never asked to be born, did I?
No, but you were. I loved you, and I still do. Even now, when you talk like I'm a pile of garbage. God, Holly, I barely recognize the person texting me.
That's because I've changed. I've grown. I've learned what it takes to win. And honestly, Mom, dragging around a poor, clingy, small-town mother doesn't fit the image anymore.
So what am I to you now? A bad memory? A cautionary tale?
You are the version of myself I worked hard to avoid, that's all. Look, I'm not trying to be cruel, but I've made it. I finally made it. I'm officially in the winner's circle. There's no room for rusted trailers and people who shop with coupons.
And there it is, the truth. You think I'm trash, unfit for your new life.
I think you're not part of my future, that's all. You gave me roots. Now I need wings.
Then don't be surprised when those wings snap under the weight of your lies. By the way, since we're on the subject of lies, there's something I should tell you.
Oh, great. What now? Another guilt trip?
Not quite. I just think it's funny how much you've been running from your roots when your fiancé's company has been working with them this whole time.
What are you even talking about?
Evan's sleek little tech startup. They've been sourcing parts from my factory for over a year now.
Ha! Your factory? That's precious. You're so delusional.
It's most certainly not a delusion. I'm the CEO, Holly.
Wait, what? No, you're not. You work on the floor. You wear a hairnet and steel-toed boots and punch a clock. You've worked the line forever.
I did, until 2 years ago. The board offered me the position after the last CEO retired.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try way harder than that to convince me of this. You don't have an MBA. You don't even have a college degree.
No, but I've got 20 years of experience, every industry certification you can name, and a track record that speaks louder than any diploma. You think I just stood still all these years? You think I didn't fight for more?
If that's really true, then why haven't you told me about it up until now? Isn't the timing a little convenient?
I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen. Didn't you notice that I've been pushing harder than usual to get you to come home lately? I told you there was something important I wanted to talk to you about. That's what it was.
So, you're saying Evan's company's operations depend on your plant?
And much more than he realizes. Our factory produces a critical component in one of his flagship products. And the funny thing is, he never even bothered to meet the person behind it.
Well, how was he supposed to know? I didn't even know.
That's the irony, isn't it? You tried to scrub me out of your life, make me small, invisible. But behind the scenes, you've been riding my coattails this whole time.
This is insane.
I know, it must be a painful realization. You made your whole brand about being better than me, but your precious brand is all my products. You might as well get a Made in Margaret tattoo.
Does Evan know about this yet?
He will soon. The pompous little upstart threatened my job and my company. I'm not going to take that lying down. There are going to be very real consequences for that.
Consequences? What are you gonna do to him?
We've become a major player in the industry over the last 2 years I've been at the helm. Our sales numbers have increased 500% in that time.
What? 500%? Those are impossible growth numbers. For a startup, maybe, but for a long-running factory like yours, that just doesn't happen.
But it did, though. You can check the annual reports we issue to confirm it for yourself. And you know what that means. We're not hurting for business at all. I think it might be time for my company to reconsider its relationship with Evan's firm. As a matter of fact, I plan to propose to the board at the next meeting that we are completely cutting him off.
Really? That's your big threat? That's kinda weak, Mom. I expected something better from you. Like, so you don't sell him parts anymore. Whoop-de-doo! I guess you'll just have to go to one of your competitors.
He can go to them if he likes, but the very big problem he'll run into is that no one else is able to make the parts he needs besides us. My company has the patents for nearly 70% of the products Evan's firm uses in their products. If we cut him off, then they'll have to pump tens of millions of dollars into completely redesigning their products. Meanwhile, his competitors will have no such issue.
Oh my god! Mom, you're really gonna go nuclear on him? That'll destroy his company. It'll destroy him. Is that what you want?
Why, yes, Holly. That's precisely what I want. It's the least that he deserves for the way he disrespected me today.
But what about me? I'm gonna marry him. If you destroy him, then you'll be taking me down too.
Yet another very good reason to go forward with my plan.
Mom, no! You can't do this! I didn't even know that you were the CEO! Are you really gonna punish me for not knowing something?
This isn't about your ignorance. It's about your malicious blend of ignorance and arrogance. You need to be knocked down a peg or two, and it's my duty as your mother to see to that.
Please, Mom, I'm begging you.
Give Evan a message for me. It's very simple. You're done.
Margaret, I want to profusely apologize for my unacceptable behavior earlier. I had absolutely no idea who you were when I said those things.
That's right. You didn't know, but that didn't stop you from threatening my job like the villain on some bad soap opera.
I wasn't trying to threaten you. I thought I was protecting Holly. She told me things that made me believe she was being emotionally manipulated, and I acted without thinking.
You're an intelligent man, Evan. You don't get to use that excuse with me. You assumed the worst, and you treated me like some helpless woman working a line job you could squeeze out of the picture.
That is not what I meant to do, I swear! I honestly thought I was doing the right thing at the time, but now I understand how wrong I was, and I'm truly sorry.
Your apology doesn't erase how you treated me or my staff. You have disrespected my plant from day one with unreasonable deadlines, sloppy communication, and absolutely no appreciation.
You're absolutely right. We've leaned on your factory heavily, and I never took the time to acknowledge how critical you've been. That was a huge failure on my part, and I'll own that completely.
You didn't just lean on us, Evan. You built half your business model on our production schedule and expected us to jump every time you snapped your fingers.
I understand that now, and I wish I could go back and handle things differently. I would treat you and your team with the respect you deserve. Please, I'm asking you not to end the partnership over this.
It's already ended. I messaged all the board members and they're all on the same page. Frankly, you should have seen this coming months ago.
Margaret, please! If you pull out now, we won't be able to fulfill our orders for next quarter! There are people's jobs tied up in this! People with families, with homes! I'm begging you to reconsider!
You should have thought about their jobs before you made threats you couldn't back up. I will not keep doing business with a man who doesn't understand the value of partnership until it's slipping through his fingers.
I do understand now! I know I messed this up badly, and I'll do whatever it takes to fix it. I'll fly out, meet your team, issue a public apology, whatever you need.
What I need is to never work with someone like you again. I've run my company for years without letting ego or arrogance take the wheel, and I don't plan to start now.
Please, this doesn't have to be how it ends. Just give me one more conversation, one more chance to make this right.
You're young. You'll still have plenty of chances to start again. Remember, Holly is expecting to marry a wealthy and successful businessman. So once your current company goes under, I hope you'll get right back to work building a new one.
Mom, can we please talk? I know I don't deserve your time right now, but I'm really scared and I don't know where else to turn.
Mom, huh? Didn't think I'd ever hear that word from you again.
I know I've been awful. I said things I didn't mean and I shut you out completely. But I need you. Evan's company, it's collapsing.
I am aware of his company's sudden drop in performance, but that's not my problem anymore.
It is your problem, though, at least partly. He depended on your factory. You were the backbone of his supply chain. Without you, we can't produce anything. We're already losing clients. Investors are panicking. Everything's falling apart.
That sounds like something a responsible CEO should have prepared for. Maybe if he spent less time threatening people and more time managing risk, he wouldn't be in this position.
You don't understand. I left everything to support him. I gave up my job, my savings, everything I had. I thought we were secure. I thought I'd finally made it. And now I'm sitting here with no income, no safety net, and no idea what to do next.
So now you're broke, trapped, and begging for help from the mother you swore you'd never speak to again. Isn't that something?
Please don't do this. I know I was cruel. I know what I said about you was beyond unforgivable, but I didn't mean all of it. I was trying to fit in. I was trying to prove I belonged in that world.
You told the man you planned to marry that I was manipulative, that I guilted you, that I begged you for money. You told him I was a parasite, and now here you are asking for help.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm just asking you to reconsider. If there's any way, even a temporary deal, you could resume the contract, we might have a shot at saving the company. Just enough to recover.
Holly, listen to yourself. You are asking me to rescue the man who threatened my livelihood and called me unstable. You want me to extend a hand to the people who erased me from their story until it became convenient not to.
I know how it sounds, but I'm not asking you for him. I'm asking you for me. I'm not proud of what I did. I regret it every day. I was stupid and arrogant and selfish, but I'm still your daughter. Somewhere under all this mess, I am still yours.
Yes, you are, and that's what makes this hurt in a way I can't even describe. You didn't just cut me off, you made a show of it. You turned me into a punchline so you could feel bigger, and now you want the woman you humiliated to come clean up the wreckage?
I'll never be able to take it back. I know that, but I'm begging you, not for pride, not for revenge, just for survival. Please help me. Please, don't let me fall apart like this.
You don't understand. It's not that I want you to fall apart, but I can't save someone who only remembers me when everything else is gone.
Then what am I supposed to do? Just give up?
You do what I did. You get up, you rebuild, you take the pain and turn it into something stronger, but you'll do it without me.
So that's it? This is really how it all ends between us?
It didn't have to end this way, but you made your choice, Holly. Now I'm simply honoring it. Evan's company collapsed within a month. I wasn't surprised. Turns out my plant wasn't the only one he tried to bully, just the one that said no. Suppliers cut ties, one after another. The funding dried up. The press got wind of it. It was his third failed startup. I suppose charm only takes you so far. For Holly's part, she's sticking by her man. They got married a few months later. They didn't have much time to enjoy their newlywed bliss, though. Evan's company's collapse left him saddled with over $400,000 in debt. It's going to be quite a challenge for them to work it all off. But if Evan's really as good of a businessman as he thinks he is, maybe they have a chance. I never heard from Holly again after that, and I honestly don't expect her name to appear at the top of my phone anytime soon. As for me, things are going as usual at my company. I wake up early, just like always. I run a plant that's never been stronger. I lead a team I'm proud of. I mentor young men and women who remind me of younger versions of myself. They're willing to put in all the work needed to succeed. And I'm going to give them all the help that I can to make sure it happens.